Yesterday I came back from WonderCon late at night. I still have a mess here with all my comic book boxes out. I haven't put them away, so I thought real quick I'd go over some of the free things on, starting with what I got signed, then following up with some of the free comics I got, as well as some of the comics I bought, and as well as a lot of the swag. Because as you know, some of the booths, they give away free things, especially DC. One thing you know about me is that I collect pins, so of course, I made sure to get some. I made sure to pre-order one of my pins I wanted to get, and it's Toddland, this company that always does stuff for Bob's Burger. They were there, so I pre-ordered this, and I think it was only something like $5. So I wanted to get it because it actually shows, you know, Orange County, Anaheim's in that section. So, and this was also the first year that WonderCon had a pin, an official one themselves. See, it's actually a pretty big pin. And I bought 2 other pins. One of them is from this guy who does a little figure called Melvin the Saddest Robot. I think I showed it on my channel before and some previous footage for Los Angeles Comic Con, so maybe I'll link it somewhere at the bottom. And since, you know, he was such a nice guy and I talked to him last time, I figured I'd make sure to get something, so I got this little sad robot pin. And this is actually the robot he made. Like, he didn't Photoshop it, he made it, and then he adds in the color in the background, and he kind of makes these neat looking 3D pictures and he makes them into books. And then I got one more. It's from this comic creator called The Humans, and they do a series about Glenn Danzig and Henry Rollins. So since I'm a fan of both of them, thought I'd get it. One of the things I made sure to get signed was this anthology I have, is Love is Love. Several people have worked on this, and I believe there's something like 300 different writers and artists, and I wound up adding 2 or 3 more signatures to it. Gary Dugan right there, and honestly, I don't remember who the other person was. I really should keep track of this because, you know, this is going to get full eventually. Alright, skip that one. Okay, next I got Bombshells United signed by Marguerite Bennett. She was super cool, and I love the fact that she signed it in gold. She's super nice. Told me thank you for buying it and everything, so I plan to get the artist to sign that too. This I got signed by Glenn Quinn. He only did a few pages on this, but when I saw him at the booth, he totally got excited and he kind of fanboyed out. You know, him and whoever he was with, they just got excited. It's like, oh, they brought the comics, they brought one to get signed. So I guess I was the first person to get something signed by him, and that was Saturday. So totally nice guy. I got Death of X #1 signed by Charles Soule. Gotham City Garage signed by Tula Lote. I got a few things signed by her actually. Bodies #1. Here's She-Hulk signed by Charles Soule. He's the writer. See you in court. Most of you know She-Hulk is also a lawyer. Super Sons, I managed to get double signed by the one who did the cover, Dustin Nguyen, and who was it? Peter Tomasi, the writer. Hopefully I plan to get the interior artist and some other people. So Jimenez would be cool. Now this is another anthology I have. Over 50 different artists worked on the cover. It's a double cover, you can't see the other side, but other people wrote on it. So far I have a list on the back of everyone that signed it. Neil Adams signed it at LA Comic Con. Eric Canante, he signed it this past WonderCon. Bob Layton signed it, I think, WonderCon last year. Steve Lieber at LA Comic Con the year before. Mike McCone, I believe at one of those two. Marguerite Sauvage a while back. Kevin Van Hook, he's the signature I added also. I don't even know where his signature is. It's tucked away somewhere. I am never going to find that signature. Comic I also bought. It's a variant cover that was available at the IDW booth. This is for Magic the Gathering, the comic, and it's signed by Vita Ayala. And on this other side, because I didn't have a bag to protect that, I got Bravest Warriors. And it's exclusive. I got in Loot Crate. I got it signed by Kat Lay. She seemed really nice, but didn't talk to me very much. Talked to everyone else, but oh well. Martian Manhunter was signed by Eric Canante also. Astro City Dark Age, signed by Alex Sinclair. I am going to wait to show this because this is the big piece. Scooby Apocalypse, signed by Alex Sinclair. He is the one that did the colors. Dustin Nguyen, he did the cover, so he signed it. Deadpool #1, Scott Koblish, the one who did the cover, he already signed it at a convention last year. But the writer, Gary Dugan, he signed it. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #1. This was signed already by the writer, Kyle Higgins, but Sean Galloway, the one who did the cover, he signed it also. I wish he had done it a little darker. It's hard to see it. Ronan Island #1, which somebody saw in my unboxing video recently, signed by the writer, Greg Pak. Okay, Archie #17, signed by the cover artist, Tula Lote again. Bloodshot #1, signed by Kevin Van Hook. Now, it was important for me to get this signed because this is being made into a movie. And I managed to pick this up at the Porterville Comic Con for like $2 recently. So, that just jumped up in value now. Supergirl Being Super #1, signed by Joelle Jones. Also signed by Joelle Jones, or Joel Jones, not sure how to pronounce it. Also signed. Also signed. Tula Lote, signs Batman comic. Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad April Fool's special, signed by Alex Sinclair, and I think that's Sean Galloway. Alex Sinclair is the one on the bottom, so the top one's got to be, yeah, Galloway. Possibly? I don't know. Okay, no. Galloway was needed for that one. Galloway signed this one. He did the cover. That was Alex Sinclair. So I don't know who signed that one. I double checked. It was Sean Galloway. It was hard to tell because the other signature was in silver and really faint. This one was in black and very crisp. When I compared them, I was able to note the loops. Alright, now I'm going to go over one more signed comic. Now this one is important to me. It is not necessarily a valuable comic, but it's the amount of signatures I already had on it. Now, to start, I already had, let's see, Greg Capullo. I got this to sign it. This Batman comic, he was the writer. I got Miki, I can't remember his first name. He did the inks for this. Now I added 2 more signatures. Alex Sinclair, who does the color, and now this other signature is the big one. He did the cover for this, but he is also one of the biggest names in comics. Most people remember him from the early 90s run of X-Men, where he did those iconic suits, and he also was responsible for a lot of the redesigns for DC Rebirth. Now, Jim Lee, I got him to sign it. A friend of mine won a ticketed signing, and she didn't have anything for him signed, so I asked her, well, technically, she asked me if I wanted anything signed, so I chose this. I had more valuable comics that he's done that he could sign, but the fact that I already had 3 other signatures, I figured it looked good together. And it's a nice cover, so. I'm going to go over some of the comics I bought while I was there. One of the things I try to do is support smaller, lesser-known artists and writers, and, you know, really try to get the word out there on their comics. I want people to just enjoy comics and know that there's many options besides Marvel, DC, and even to a lesser extent, Image and Dark Horse. You know, it's nice to give those smaller companies a nice little boost. Let the world know that there's many different ideas out there. Now, this comic I got free, but what was interesting about it is, like, it actually was a really good comic. A lot of free comics I get, they're at a DC booth, or it's just a reprint of something else, or something I already have, but this was free, and you would think I could pay for it. They have different covers you could have bought for them, and the writer or artist, I'm not sure which, he was there and he actually signed it. So this was from the booth of, honestly, I don't know the name of the booth, but this is the comic Neon Future. See? Little postcard. It's kind of cool, little science fiction thing. Had a talk with the guy about anime, different stuff. I completely froze when he asked me what type of anime I liked, and I wound up just saying Food Wars. My mind just went blank. I don't like being put on the spot. Was another variant cover was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder in Hell #1. Now this is what's called a virgin cover. When it's called a virgin cover, that means it doesn't have any of the words or anything. No barcodes, it doesn't have the artist, just the art. You know, there's nothing on it. It's untouched. And just so you know, they also put it on the other side so you can know what it is. See? Now, these are some other comics. Warhead. I haven't read this yet, but it was just such a weird looking comic. It's completely interesting. Actually, you know, let's bring this camera over here. Let's investigate. See, it was such a trippy comic. Now I can't remember who wrote this. Oh, it was Katrina Kunzman. Now, I'm gonna read this because this actually looks really interesting. So, it's from a very small company called Silver Sprocket Comics, and you know, it's pretty cool. They have very neat, you know, alternative comics. Definitely not a PG-13. But what I mean by rated R, it's not for sexuality, it's graphic violence and a lot of, you know, stuff. Very, very colorful, you know, very underground stuff. I like the look of it. If you're into underground comics and lesser known stuff, you'd like this. Look at that. Okay, another one I got was this comic someone had done where they got Edgar Allan Poe, who's most known for writing The Raven, For Whom the Bell Tolls, and they decided to do this as an anthology, but do it as a detective story, like a noir. So I bought Poe Noir #1, and I got it signed. So now I got 2 other comics that I bought. This one happened to be a limited edition. There's always a booth at WonderCon that sells variant covers for DC Comics, and they're usually these metallic covers, and they usually sell out really fast. But on the Lassie, there were quite a few actually. So I managed to get Shazam #4. Look how shiny that is. It's so bright and shiny that it's blaring that light right off. It wasn't just a comic, but it was a trade paperback, and it collected 5 different comics, all in the series by this one writer named Johnny Parker II. He was the writer and co-creator. He's the one who wound up signing this. Now, the way he described this to me, and I do have a little bit of footage of him talking, not very much, he said, this book, if you like a little bit of racism, and that's the way he said it, then you would like this book. So it is about this black guy and this Mexican, and they team up to stop, you know, corporations trying to take control of the world. It's called Black Fist and Brown Hand. And as he described to me, he talked about this company that was making this new drink to try to control Mexicans and black people. And it was grape horchata. So, yeah, I thought I'd check it out. So, let me show you what he was talking about. Yeah. Comics aren't always for kids. So, yeah, I'm gonna make sure to get his card. So, little shout out to him. Totally cool guy. I'm gonna read that comic when I have a chance. Yeah. I've seen him at 2 different cons. I promised I'd get something his sometime, so I'm gonna show some of the commissions I got. That is the main thing I go to Comic Cons now. It's not necessarily to get stuff signed, even though that is a major thing I do, and it takes up a vast majority of my time. It is not my main focus. Now, I'm gonna wait to show off the main thing I was getting completed. I started another jam piece, one for A-Force, and if you don't know the team A-Force, it is a completely female team of Avengers, where just members like She-Hulk, the Wasp, Valkyrie, Spider-Gwen, Black Widow, and so on. So I figured that'd be a good way to get different characters on here. So I got to work on this was Katie Cook, and if you remember from a previous video, she's known for doing very small miniature paintings. So I thought it'd be appropriate for her to do the Wasp. And the other artist I got in here was Edwin Huang. He is most known for doing a lot of the Street Fighter stuff for Capcom. So he does this anime style. So I thought it'd be really appropriate for him to do Nico, I'm gonna mess up her last name, Minoru. Yeah, Minoru. So, I said that was appropriate because the comic Runaways that she premiered in originally had an anime style. So, as you can see, Katie Cook did a really nice version of the Wasp. And if you look at that detail, she actually put glitter in the wings. So, that was really badass. And I don't know how she has such a steady hand. You can see here the anime look, so it's very awesome that I got that done. That is probably going to go up right there. Now I'm going to show you something I got in my sketchbook. I was in line waiting to get stuff signed by Joel Jones. The person who was in control of the line and deciding who was going to go up first to get stuff signed, calling one at a time, someone had talked to them and asked if it was possible to get a sketch from her. And they replied that if she's willing to do it, she will, but don't expect anything too detailed, so it doesn't hurt to ask. But she wasn't taking commissions. So, since I was 2 people in front of her, I asked first. Dirty, but... So, it's a quick little sketch, but still, it was free and it's nice detail for something that only took about a minute. Now, this next one you may recognize, it was previously on this wall right here, and it was my Venom Jam piece, where I had got it started at LA Comic Con. I had Peter Parker done by Lack Lim, I think I'm saying his name correctly, and I had Mac Gargan done by Jeffrey Edwards, who also did the layout and gave the suggestion for having that white spider that's on the middle of all the chests of the people who had the Venom symbiote be the connecting piece to connect them all. Now, I would need someone to do Eddie Brock, and I would need someone to do Flash Thompson. So I wound up on two artists. I wound up choosing a new artist called Albert Nguyen. I don't know if he's related to Dustin Nguyen. I see them oftentimes right next to each other. I don't know if it's just a coincidence or what. They have similar styles, but it's a little different. I had to go with was Albert Nguyen. I had seen what he had done with a few Venom pictures, so I figured he'd be good for this. And the next one I got was Livio... I'm gonna butcher his name. He worked on the Transformers comics, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. So, here is what it looked like before, and here's the rest. So now this is completed. I might get some grayscale done on the back to make this pop a little bit, something done in the background, a little bit added here. So, I'm finally glad I got this done. I was happy about this. And now to show you some of the free stuff I got. Now this is the fun thing. Alright, first of all, I'm going to try to go through this as fast as I can because this video is already getting longer than I thought. I grabbed as many posters as I could. I plan to do a giveaway later at my job, so by the time you see this, it's going to already be too late. This Star Trek poster, if you're a fan, might be yours. This Wasp poster. This tiny little thing, whatever. I talked to the guy who makes these books, put down our school as a reference, so he said he might do some type of tour there. These little stickers. I actually got this at the DC booth, a pack of cards. Don't know what's in them, not gonna know, gonna give them away. Who knows? There was also this booth where they had a giant cardboard Pokeball and they had a blacked out hole. And for $1, you could reach in and you had to draw out a card. Now, if you got a Diglett, you got to draw again. If you got a Doug Trio, I think you got to draw twice or something. Now, I drew, and you don't even see what they are until you pull it out. I got two cards. The first one was this. Now, the second one, and this is the special one, it surprised me, this Moltres. Now, I do not play Pokemon at all. Don't really know anything about the card game, so I'm gonna give these away at some point. I already looked them up, they're only worth like $2, but still, pretty cool. Someone's gonna get them. Yosagi Yojimbo 1, I got from the IDW booth. I made sure to grab a lot of posters from them. This next one, if I remember, I think it's, yes, Transformers and Ghostbusters. Pretty cool. Some other booth had these. Thought they were really weird, but you know, I liked them. I might actually give one of these or two away to a friend of mine. I like to grab swag for my friends. This giant poster. I don't even know what it is. Let's see. It is Batman. Only I can tell because I could kind of see through this, so it's more of a surprise to me, but all of you get to see it. Yeah. These two masks. Batman. Harley Quinn. Giving those away. Some stickers I got for taking my picture with Missing Link. Giving that away. Postcard from Poe Noir. Postcard from this other artist. Really talented. Buzz. This postcard from this exhibit I saw where they do movie props. This other teeny tiny little poster. Oh, another one. So, 2 copies. This bookmark. This free magazine that talks about Mortal Kombat 11. Quite a few comics, starting with Dark Knight 3, Master Race, which I'm keeping for myself. Batman Earth 1, number 1, which I probably will give away. not sure. Batman Harley Quinn Day, probably will give that away. This little preview sampler. The Man of Steel #1, and Batman White Knight #1, which I am definitely keeping. And I nearly forgot, I got one other item, and that was for taking a picture with a humongous Bumblebee statue, which I will put, a picture of right here. And as a result, I just had to post that picture of me on social media and prove it, and I got this nice little swag bag. And this actually wound up coming handy because I used it on my last day just to hold a small box of comics, since on my last day I don't need to carry very much. So I didn't need to carry my messenger bag, and I just had this light day. So it really came in handy. This, I'm going to put some stuff in it, and I'm going to give it away full of prizes. And that's going to benefit some people. Oh, just notice, if you have headphones, it goes right through there. Listen. Nice little bag. So I'm going to fill up with goodies, give it away at work. So look out for that on video, and you get to see everything I got signed, all the free items I got, the artwork I got. As in case you haven't noticed, it's up there now because I want to show it off, as well as many comics, posters, and that was just me collecting stuff on one day. Had I actually tried, I probably could have got double or 3 times as much comics, but again, it was just on Sunday and I was only there for a few hours. I just grabbed stuff here or there. Someone said, "You want a free comic?" Yes, I do. Hey, got some free posters? Yes, I'll take 1. Can I take another? Good, I'll take 2. I grabbed whatever I could. As I said, I like to get stuff for people, make sure that they can experience some of this stuff and know what it's really like to be there, or at least have something so they can know that I thought of them. So, thank you. If you like this video, I want you to make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And always follow me. Click the notification button if you haven't already. And keep a lookout for more WonderCon videos, because I have about 1.5 gigs of footage. So there's going to be a lot of footage. There's going to be a video on cosplay, the short one on a panel, possibly a little bit of me talking to different creators, me doing my little vlog thing where I'm just talking about what I'm doing there, which some of you may caught on the live stream, which unfortunately kept cutting in and out. And there's probably going to be a video showing a lot of dancing and music there. Just like I did for LA Comic Con, there was the marshmallow video of all those people dancing and breakdancing. I got another one of someone dressed as Freddie Mercury playing and dancing to his music. Someone's dressed as Shorter from Peanuts playing a tiny little piano. Someone is Marceline playing a guitar, and so on. So keep a lookout for that. I really want all of you to watch these things and enjoy them. Let me know what you think, what you want to see more about these different cons, and I am going to do some gameplay footage for some Let's Plays like Manhunt and some other games. As he said, I've just been busy with this con, and I'm going to be busy this week. I've got footage to edit. So thank you, and I hope to see all of you again soon. Thank you.